So it's Tuesday, which is day 2 of week 2 of writing month for AutoCrit's novel 90, which if you watched my last video, I'll put it up in the cards. I am attempting for the first time. We'll see how it goes. I did not write yesterday. Nope, not a word. The funny thing is, I actually had a writing buddy with me. Well, not with me, like in person. Lord knows, that would be amazing if I would ever find a writing buddy in person. I wouldn't even know what to do with my life. Anyway, it was through Facebook Messenger, I think. Well, actually, we connected through AutoCrit, funnily enough. So this is another reason why I'm liking AutoCrit, community. I need community. I think we all need community, but I really need community. And I'm finding some connection in AutoCrit, which was something that I was severely lacking in a lot of other things that I've tried, like NaNoWriMo. I tried that before. I know that's not a thing anymore, but when I did try it years ago, there wasn't any connection. Like, I wasn't making connections. Anyway, hold on, my dog needs to be let in. Hey, bud. Are you tired of being outside? Is it too hot out there? It's actually much cooler today. I live in Pennsylvania, for those of you who don't know, and we had last week, week 1 of writing month. Last week we had, I bet you, like almost all week was 90s with feel like temps in the hundreds. Like it was, and I don't have air conditioning on the whole bottom floor of my house. So I live in a very old, this house was built in 1862. So I live in a very old farmhouse, and we decided we were not going to bother putting air conditioning in the bottom floor. And the reason we decided that is because my house is brick, and the brick is actually really great for insulation. So most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, we don't need air conditioning. Because as long as the nights get cool enough, we open the windows, and then once we shut the windows during the day, it keeps the cool in and keeps the heat out long enough, like where by the time it cools down again, you know what I mean? So now last week was when it gets to those kind of temperatures where it's humid and it's 100 degrees during the day, and you're lucky if it's hitting like 80 at night and it's still really muggy and sticky. Opening the windows at night does not help. So eventually the heat gets in, and that's kind of where we're at. This is the first cool day that we've had, I think, since July started. So that's kind of a relief. I feel like if I really wanted to, I could go outside and write today. It is, what time is it? I don't even know. Almost 2. It is almost 2 in the afternoon. And I still haven't done any writing today. Again, and it's day 2. Day 2 of this week, and I still have 0 words to show for it. But yesterday when I had my writing buddy through my, we were communicating through Messenger, I think. And we were doing, I'm going to call them productivity sprints, because they weren't writing sprints because I wasn't writing, but I was working on other things that's related to my writing. I was working on my book cover. I am endlessly tweaking book covers. Oh, speaking of book covers, maybe you guys can help me. I was trying to get some feedback from her and others. But this illustrated cover thing that's going on in romance right now. Illustrated covers are like the big thing. Everyone is doing illustrated covers. Everybody wants illustrated cover art and illustrated character art, and they want to share it on, so I'm not even using social media unless you count YouTube. YouTube's it. But anyway, illustration is like the big thing. Illustration is expensive. At least good illustration is expensive. And I don't have that kind of money. Like, I just don't. So, but you can't use AI because AI is a no-no. And I understand, like, the ethics behind it. I understand why it's a no-no. But then I'm wondering, like, what is the plan for those of us in between, those of us who aren't at a point in our careers where we can afford to pay an artist to make illustrations for us. But that is what is expected of the genre if we want our books to do well and land well, and for the covers to fit in with all of the other romance covers that are on the shelves right now, which are all illustrated. Like, what is the plan? I was using Canva because I pay for, I don't pay. I get Canva Premium through my education institution. So I use my teacher account, whatever. I don't care. The school can pay for it. You can rat me out if you want. So that's what I've been using, and I've been using some of their like stock art. It's not photos. It's not, I mean, I use stock photos too. So here's another thing. Is this AI? Does this count as AI? Because I don't know. I'm still kind of trying to figure out what is acceptable. What's an acceptable use of AI in this community, and what isn't. So I know typing in a prompt and just having an image spit out at you is a no-no. I've learned that. That's a no-no. But what if you use a piece, like a photo, a stock photo, which we've used for covers and for marketing things forever. Like they've been using that forever. They go on like royalty-free stock sites and get free images that are available for commercial use, and they use those in cover design. Like that's just always been a thing. But now, since we're transitioning away from real photos to illustration, Canva has this tool where you can take a image, like a stock image. Like for me, I'm gonna use me as an example. I take a stock photo of a couple kissing, or of a couple smiling at each other, or just of a couple in general. And they have this tool where you can click it and it'll turn that image, that photo, and it'll make it look like art. It'll make it look like it was watercolor, like it's watercolor painted, or it'll make it look like it was acrylic painted, or character sketch. Or I'm not generating an image like by typing a prompt in, but I'm using a tool that I am fairly certain is AI related that turns a photo into a piece of art. Like people do this all the time on social media. Like I've seen it. Like there are apps and all this stuff that you can download, and you can take a picture that you've taken of yourself and your spouse, of yourself and your children, of your family, of your whatever, and you can click a button and it'll make it look like anime, or it'll make it look like, I don't know, like a squishmallow, or I don't know, whatever. Like it'll make that picture look like art. So how is that acceptable? Is that an acceptable use where I'm not feeding a prompt and just having it spit out at me, but I'm using some other tool that takes a photo, whether it's my photo or a free image that I've gotten off of like royalty-free sites or Canva's royalty-free stock or whatever, and I'm turning it into, it looks like it was painted or it was drawn or sketched or whatever you want to call it. Is that okay? Like, is that acceptable? Do I have to disclose that? If I do disclose that, how are readers going to feel? This is the problem that we are running up against with this AI thing, because I don't know what's okay and what's not. I need somebody to tell me if that's okay or not. So I'm asking you, if you're a romance reader. I'm a romance reader, and I mean, I don't know how, I don't have a good enough eye to be able to tell the difference personally. So I mean, and I'm one that would rather not judge, in case I'd rather just veer on the side of caution and assume that it's not. And that's just that's just how I go about it. I'm not going to accuse somebody of using a tool that I don't know for certain they used. I'm not just going to be like, yeah, that was AI generated. I'm just not going to do that, because I don't know. I wasn't sitting there at the computer. I have no idea. And I know how inaccurate those AI detection things are, because I've had to use them in education, and they're not accurate at all. Let me tell you, they don't catch stuff. They don't catch it. Sometimes they don't catch it at all, and other times they're catching it when it didn't even exist. That's how unreliable it is. So there's my question for this video. What are we doing about illustrated art, and how are we making that something that beginning authors have access to? Because those of us who are just getting started in this industry don't have thousands of dollars to spend on art for our covers. We just don't. Sorry. It does not exist. Like, it's not there. I'm sorry. So there you go. If you have an answer, I would love to hear it. Please put it down below. Please, please, please. I'm begging you. I'm not. Dilemma. I have laundry that I should be doing, but I also have writing I should be doing. Yeah. My time management skills need major work. Major work. So do I fold laundry or run laundry, or do I write? Because I can't do both. I gotta choose one for now. I seriously need time management Skills. I need to make a schedule. I'm very bad at schedules. I don't like schedules. I hate schedules. But I feel like I need a schedule. So, laundry or writing. I feel like either way, I'm just putting off something. If I choose laundry, that's just, I'm doing that because I don't want to write. And if I choose writing, it's because I don't want to do laundry. But I feel like I would be judged more harshly by the people in my personal life if I choose writing over laundry. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I am, if nothing else, unfortunately, a people pleaser. And I can't keep putting off laundry. Like, that piles up quick. I can make up writing. Decisions are so hard. All right, it's only one load of laundry. I'm going to fold one load of laundry. One load of laundry, and then I'm going to write. That's what I'm going to do. All right, we're doing this.
I don't want to miss it when you hit that high. Wake me up before you go, 'cause I'm not planning on going solo. Wake me up before you go.
So my brother, my favorite brother in the whole wide world, gifted me his camera, and it's a good camera. I mean, it's not like professional photographer good. I mean, it's good, obviously. You can see, like, it's a pretty good camera. I remember him saying he spent, a good chunk of money on it. So it's like nothing to sniff at. It's good. It's way better than this phone at the moment. But there's like a lot of buttons and bells and whistles on it that I don't understand, that I'm really going to need to like learn in order to utilize. So I think that's going to be one of my goals going forward, so that I can not use the phone so much. And then I have a camera that is capable of having better video already in my possession that I just don't know how to use. So I feel like that needs to be a goal of mine. I need to learn how to use this thing. So you might be seeing that a little more going forward, is maybe I'll figure this out and my video quality will get better, hopefully.
Gray skies out of my way. You make the sunshine brighter than darkness.
Okay, so it's 3 o'clock. Still not writing yet today because laundry turned into a hunt for socks, is essentially what happened. Please tell me I'm not alone in this. My family has a really hard time with socks. They can't keep socks together, especially when it comes to getting them clean. They end up in different loads of laundry, and it's really annoying. Let me show you. I have this pile that we've accumulated of just socks that I couldn't find matches to when they came out of the dryer because they're in a different load. It's craziness. It's absolute craziness. Why can we not keep socks together? So now I'm going to spend the next X amount of time sorting through all of these socks in the hopes of finding a match. Like, there has to be an easier way. And I'm not using safety pins, because that just puts more, like, I'm going to have to be the one that safety pins the stupid socks together. No one else is going to do that when they do laundry. So I need a system. I don't know, something to avoid this. This is stupid. But I'm going to spend the next X amount of minutes sorting through all of these socks now.
Into a flame. My beats per minute never been the same. 'Cause you're my lady, I'm your fool. It makes me crazy when you act so cruel.
Most of them don't even have matches. Where are all of these socks going? Half of those socks are now in the garbage because I'm done dealing with mismatched socks. I gave some of them to my daughter because she doesn't mind wearing 2 different socks. And then the ones that I couldn't find matches to, I don't care. They're in the garbage. They're gone forever. I will never look at them again. This is probably why we end up buying so many socks, though, because I don't want to deal with finding sock matches, I guess. So anyway, I have about an hour, maybe a little more than an hour before I have to start dinner. My daughter wants me to make chicken Alfredo. And that's, I would say about an hour for me. So I'm going to try and get some words on the page today. I don't know how many words. I don't really have a word goal. I haven't really figured out a goal. Maybe I should figure that out. I'm a little all over the place. I told you guys in my welcome video that I'm a mess. So I know what I'm writing next. That is one thing I do know. I tend to write mostly in order. So, mostly. There are, sometimes I'll get like a random, like, conversations come to me. Very, like, that's the first thing that comes to me usually is conversation. Dialogue always comes to me first. So sometimes if, like, there's a conversation between characters going on in my head that, like, seems to be more than, like, a one-off line, I'll sometimes write it down. I'm not very consistent. I don't always do it, depending on where I'm at, when it's happening, and, like, all those things. So, but today, I'm kind of finishing up a scene that I was writing on Sunday. So, in my week 1 vlog, I'll put it up in the cards. I'm finishing the scene that I was writing the last day of week 1. So, I think that's basically what I'm going to just work on. I think my goal, instead of having a word count goal at the moment, I think my goal for now is just going to be to finish that scene. Like, get that scene finished before I have to start dinner. I think that's going to be my goal, because I don't think I have a whole lot left in that scene to write. So I think I can do it. I think I can get that scene written. So I am going to just sit down, and I might do like a 45-minute sprint. Well, I might do like a warm-up sprint first, like a 15-minute warm-up sprint. And then maybe like a 30-minute sprint or something. So I get 45 minutes. Anyway, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna try to get some writing done today. I'm gonna try. We'll see how it goes.
Let's not fight. We'll go dancing. Everything will be alright. Wake me up before you go. Don't leave me hanging on like a yo-yo.
Is that too bright? It might be too bright. Oh well.
Before you go.
Whatever. Not gonna be pretty, but I don't care. My random socks that I found. That's my eyeglass cleaner, because it happens to be sitting here on my desk. Whatever. Okay, so I did one 20-minute sprint so far, and I got, well, according to AutoCrit, I wrote 380 words, but I deleted 84 of them. 300, so 296 words, I think. I'm guessing. In the 20 minutes. Although I didn't really have a word count goal. It was more just finishing up the scene, and I am this close to finishing this scene. I'll definitely get it done in the next sprint, I think. It's almost there. I do know during my first drafts, it's a lot of dialogue. So edits sometimes are me filling in stuff between dialogue. Not necessarily like body language or facial expression. Like, I'm pretty good at adding those in. It's more like context around conversations that I need to do during edits. That I don't always know when I write the first draft. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So, like right now, I feel like a lot of this draft so far, and I'm 10,000 words in, is dialogue and action, mostly. Like there's very little backstory in right now. Sometimes that's stuff that also gets added in. I'm not very great at setting, like setting the scene, I guess, especially when it comes to like describing the scene. And I think that has more to do with like me personally as a reader. I don't care. Like, I will absolutely skip over that when I'm reading. Like, if I see in a story that it's like 3 paragraphs of them describing a room, or like they just came to a new place and they're describing the place for 3 paragraphs, like, I don't care. If they already told me like they're at a cafe, I don't need you to tell me what the cafe looks like, because I know what a cafe, like, I will just put a cafe that I already have been to in that scene. I don't need you to tell me what the scene, like, I don't need you to tell me that. I will just put it in there. And I think that's kind of my problem when I'm writing. My problem is because I don't care about that stuff, I don't write that stuff. But I know there are readers that are, that like, I've had beta readers say, I feel like I'm in like a white room. I don't know what the place looks like. And all I did was just describe what kind of room they're in, not what exactly does the room look like. I'll just say they are in this place, whether that's a classroom or a cafe or a living room or a bedroom or whatever, like whatever the place is, football stadium. Like, I don't describe it. I just don't. Like, I don't see the point in going beyond just they're at a football stadium. Or, like, sometimes, like, I would use parts of this, like, the setting, if it's part of the action, you know, like, if they're doing something with the setting, you know, like, they're sitting at the table, I'm going to talk about the, you know, I'll say that they, you know, they're sitting at a booth instead of like pulling out a chair, or I don't know. Is that wrong? I don't know. I'm very up in the air about setting descriptions just because of how extreme I am with my own reading. Like, I hate reading setting descriptions, which might be why I have such a hard time with like fantasy, like especially like high fantasy. I don't care. Like, I don't care about the pretty mountains. I don't know. Like, even when I was reading like ACOTAR and they're trying to describe the castle, I'm like, I don't care. It's just it's a castle. Like, just tell me it's a castle. I'll fill it in. It's Belle's castle. It's the Beast castle. It's it's whatever castle. I don't care. Like, most of the time, I'm not, like, if you're describing it to me, it's not going to help me, at least. I'm going to put in what I am already familiar with, like Belle's castle, or a ballroom I've already seen. Like, I've already seen it in a television, like, show or movie, or that's just what I do. Like, it's just what I do. So, I don't know. I'm not really sure how I want to approach that with edits. That's definitely an edits thing. So, I mean, I don't worry about that in my first drafts at all. Not even a little bit. I just say they're in this place and that's it. Like, for example, at the beginning of the scene, they're in a cafe. That's why I said cafe. So they walked into a cafe. A week later, Kira walked through the door of Sips and Sprinkles. After doing a quick glance around the small cafe and realizing her least favorite student wasn't here yet, she dropped her backpack onto the bench of one of the corner booths and withdrew some cash from her front pocket. The bell chimed. The little bell chimed. Like, I don't know. Like, that. I don't need more than that. I don't need more than that. I can picture it. Like, I'm not saying, like, oh, there was, like, lamps here, or light, this kind of lighting, or this is the color of the floor, or I don't know. That's just me. I can't do it. I can't do it. I would never want to read that myself, and I think that's why I won't write it. Maybe. I don't know. What are your thoughts on it? I'm curious. Are you a person who likes more description in the settings? Like you need to feel more grounded? Like you need more detail to feel grounded in a scene? Or would that be enough for you? I'm honestly curious. Like this is something that I have been like battling my entire writing career. I've always struggled with settings. Please help me. Please. Okay, my break's almost up, so I'm gonna do another sprint, and I should finish this scene. I should finish this scene. So I'll see you on the other side. I finished up that scene with 3 minutes to spare in this sprint. So I just ended the sprint early. I am up to, I don't know, I'm not mathing. It's saying I wrote 721 words, but I deleted 82 of them. So I don't know what the math is, whatever the math is. There's the math. But I didn't have a word count goal, so I don't really care what the math is. It was more about finishing the scene, and I finished the scene. I was watching a YouTube video from Catherine is one of the coaches with AutoCrit. And she did a video over on their channel about setting goals that are not word count related or word count specific, like specifically scene goals. So I decided to take her advice. I'll try and link the video that I'm talking about down in the cards if you want to check it out. It's just on their AutoCrit channel, and it was actually very I don't want to say eye-opening, but she had some good points like about it. So that's kind of what I did. I just wanted to finish this scene. That was my goal, and I did it. So far this is working. Like I still have to figure out what my overall goal for this week is, and that's another thing that they go into with this Novel 90 challenge. They have a lot of good advice and tips and tricks and things like that, and tools, obviously, if you use their AutoCrit software, and a lot of free writing advice over on their AutoCrit channel if you want to check that out. I need to figure out what my goal is for this week, because last week I had a specific word count goal. I wanted to hit 10,000 words in my manuscript, and I feel like that would still, like, I should still have a word count goal, but I'm getting to the point where I feel like I don't know what the word count for this is going to be. I know what it should be. I know for a novella, it should not be more than 40,000 words. Because once you get above 40,000 words, now you're getting into novel length instead of novella length. And my goal for this project, Project Fall, is supposed to be a free prequel novella for my newsletter subscribers. So that is the purpose of it. And so I didn't want to make it a full length book, really. I didn't. I wanted it to be novella length. Because it's supposed to just be either giving my subscribers a little extra, like if for those that are coming from the book that I'm going to publish, like in the back matter, so they already read the main story, which is Project Reunion. Those are not the actual titles, so stay tuned for actual title reveals. So those that are coming in from once I publish Project Reunion, they're coming in from the back matter of that. They will have already gotten the main part of the story. So this is supposed to be just like a cool little extra like backstory for them to see, like, how did this couple meet? What is their you know, what is their story? What is the drama that happened so many years ago that's causing all of the turmoil in the main story? And the purpose of this was to give them that little extra, and then I get to like flesh that out as well. So it was like a dual purpose thing. So I don't want it to go much more than, I don't want it to go over 40,000 words. But that means I need to be very intentional on the scenes. And it could mean, for the first time, I'm usually an underwriter, but for the first time I could end up overwriting this novella. I could end up writing a full-length novel, like in word count, and then needing to cut back. Or what could end up happening is I'm still I outline and write at the same time. I'm a planter, so I kind of flesh out my outline as I'm writing. So what could end up happening is it's just the story needs full length. It needs to be a full-length novel in order to get the story out. And I don't really know how to, like, I can't help that. If that's what happens, that's what happens. If it turns into a full-length novel, then that's just what happens. And then I guess my newsletter subscribers get a full-length novel for free instead of a novella. But I was trying to make it so that it didn't take quite as much time, because full-length novels usually take me a long time to write. I think the least amount of time I've ever spent on a full-length novel was a year, like a full year. From the time I had the idea until I actually completed the first draft was 1 year. Now this one, I don't know how you'd consider the beginning of it, because I started brainstorming Project Reunion, which is the main story, last July. So it will be a year ago at the end of this month. But I didn't start brainstorming for this prequel until maybe April of this year. So if my goal is to finish this by August, that would be the fastest I've written a book, like a full book, if it ends up even a novella, any manuscript, we'll say. That's the fastest I would have drafted any manuscript in my life, unless you're counting short stories. Short stories don't count though. Novella or longer length, that would be the fastest if I actually finish it by the end of August, which was my goal. I want to finish it by the end of August. So I'm not really sure how I want to approach my goals, because I don't know what my length is going to be. I don't know how many words right now it's going to take to get this story out. It could be 40,000 words, or it could be 60,000 words. So I don't know how to pace the word count goals right now. Like usually 40,000 words, if you want to write that in 2 months, then that's 5,000 words a week. But if it's 60,000 words, then you need more than 5,000 words a week. You see what I mean? You see, like, I don't know how to approach the goal right now. I do know, like, I need to have a drafting goal, because if I don't, I'm going to spend too much time not drafting and outlining or brainstorming or taking notes, or like I need to, and I have a hard time strictly just sticking to outlining and brainstorming. Like sometimes I need to write scenes sometimes in order to come up with ideas and brainstorm scenes and kind of connect the dots of why this needs to happen. That's just how my brain works. So I'm not really sure how to approach this week. I don't know if I should set another 10,000 word week goal, because I didn't fully write 10,000 words last week. I wrote probably more like 8 maybe in the actual, not even the full week. It was from July 1st, well, not even July 1st, even the full week. Like I had some of that written, I don't know, like 3 weeks ago. I don't know, I'd have to look back and see, like, how much did I actually write last week? Did I actually write and wasn't already written? I think most of it I wrote. I do think most of it I did write. I want to say I started like this, like the third scene maybe. I started last week maybe. I know this is how close I track. I really should track better. I really should. I need to, you know what I need to start doing? This is what I need to start actually tracking my writing time. Like I need to put down, like, okay, I did a 20-minute sprint, or I wrote from this time to this time and this is how many words I got, or I start, this scene, something. I need to journal it or something. I need some way to know what I am accomplishing on any given day or week. I don't know. I'm having issues. I told you I'm a mess. I told you. I don't really know what else I want to say right now. So I'm just going to stop, and I guess I'll see you in the next clip. I feel like that's not a way to end a clip, but whatever. It's fine. It's been a few days, and my manuscript sits at 10,653 words. So yeah, I think I've written about 500 words so far this week. 500 words. So I've got my work cut out for me this weekend. I have a lot of catching up to do. I still haven't really set a hard and fast goal, and I really need to. I would like to stick with the 10,000 words a week, even though I kind of know that's probably more than stretching myself right now. But I think I could probably do it if I really wanted to. If I could time manage better, I could do it. That's my big thing, is I'm really bad at time management. My ADHD is not helpful, to say the least. So it's a little after 3, and I'm going to do at least a sprint or two. My energy has really been crap the last few days, which probably hasn't been helping. That, and if I write a lot, well, like 10,000 words in a week, I know that's not a lot for some people. Like, some people are writing that per day. I need to refill my well more often, it seems. I've been trying to do that, a little bit of reading, and I found a new TV show on Amazon Prime, Off Campus. I'm watching this show and I'm just like, this is so within my trope, only it's like college romance. Okay, that's close enough. Age group is good. It's a sports, it's a hockey romance, and then there's tutoring involved. When I heard about the tutoring, I was like mind blown. I was like, I need to watch this show, even if I just use this as a comp. I'm on the 2nd episode and I absolutely adore it so far. So I'm hoping that kind of helps refill my well and get me in a good brainstorming space to continue coming up with scene ideas and really cementing these characters, and like to the point where I can like really hear their voices, like where as soon as something happens, I know how they'd react. I know what they would do. I know what their decision would be, good or bad, right or wrong, in their current state of life. This is what they do. So that's kind of where what I'm working on right now. I have a loose outline, but it's loose and it's definitely adjustable. It has to be. And I don't think that matters whether you are a hardcore plotter or a complete fly by the seat of your pants, you have no idea what's about to happen pantser. No matter what, you have to allow your story to unfold the way that it wants to unfold. And for those that are hardcore plotters, that probably just means adjusting their outlines a lot, which is basically what I do, only my outlines just aren't very hardcore. It's very basic, like scene, like a name for the scene and a title and a short summary of what I think might happen in the scene. That is about the extent of my outline and my planning. That's it. And some character profiles. I'll share more probably later in the video. If you kind of want a lot of those like behind the scenes where I actually show you like my character profiles and character inspiration photos and all of the behind, like the plot grids and things like that, make sure you check out my my website and sign up for my newsletter, because that's where I share all those goodies. That's it. So if you want them, that's where you got to go. Not sorry. So I'm going to start this. I think I'm going to try 20 minutes again. That seems to be working well for me. I'm going to do a 20-minute sprint and see where I get. I'd like to hit at least 200 words. That's like my minimum, but I'd like to hit more than that. So we'll see how I do. We'll see you on the other side. I did not meet you on the other side because it is several days later, but I need to wrap up this video. So I do have some information for you for the week. So I do have that. So grab my binder that has all of my nifty stuff in it. So I'm going to show you a little bit of what I'm using. Keep track. So this is the Rough Draft Challenge, Sarah Cannon, over on the Heart Breathings channel. If you haven't heard of her, I hope that, where have you been? Okay, so here's my weekly wrap up. These printouts that she gives for this challenge are like awesome. Anyway, here's my weekly wrap up. So how I felt, and then it actually tells you, like, I can write down how many words I wrote a day, but I just wrote where my manuscript word count was at. So my total words last week was 1,119 words for the whole week. Yeah, the whole week. And here's the thing. That has to be okay. I can't like get all stressed about that. I can't, or it'll derail everything. So week's over. Unfortunately, that's just what I got. Fortunately or unfortunately, that's what I got. And this tends to happen with me. And I don't know if that's just the way my brain works. I don't know if that's the way my energy levels work. I don't know if it's because I need to work the writing muscle more consistently. Like, I heard that's something that I'll just need to like experiment with. Basically is if I write or try to write more days than not, I really don't see myself being the kind of person that can write every day without me just sitting there staring at a blank page. I just don't see that happening. But I'll need to experiment more, or at least track. Am I more of like the hills and valleys kind of writer where, you know, I write a lot for a few days and then I write almost nothing for a few days, and then I write a lot for a few days and then I write almost nothing. You know what I mean? Where either way works. It doesn't matter which way you do it, whether you're a hills and valleys writer, I just made that term up, or whether you're a, you know, relatively straight across consistent writer. I mean, it gets us to the finished product one way or the other, I guess. So I think for right now, I'm just going to kind of track how my writing goes from day to day and see and just see if any patterns emerge, because I have a feeling that might be my pattern. Is I'm not a straight across the board consistent writer where I can write every day. Or like I know a lot of successful authors, that's what they do. Like, they set themselves a word count goal every day that they have to hit, whether that's 1,000 words or 5,000 words or 20,000 words. Like, they're not done their job for the day unless they hit that word count every day that they schedule themselves. Like, I'm not saying they write every single day, but every day that they do write, I guess that's what they do, which is more days than not. Unless you're Stephen King, apparently he writes every single day. Every single day. I just don't think I could do that. I don't know if my brain would allow it. My ADHD, I think would just not allow it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. If anybody else is an ADHD writer out there, please let me know if this is just me or if this is more common than I think. It'd be nice to know that I'm not by myself in this. Just a reminder, if you made it all the way to the end of this video, I want you to comment the word trooper on this video, because that lets me know that you actually made it to the end of the video. I'm thinking once I get enough, you know, subscribers and actually like some people making it to the end of my videos, I might end up starting like, you know, a fun little like reward thing for the people who subscribe, or not subscribe, the people who comment at the end of the video. I might. I don't know if it probably won't be anything huge. You know, maybe like, you know, you get your names in a drawing for like a $5 Amazon card or something. I don't know. Although I'm not a huge fan of supporting Amazon. I'll have to brainstorm. Give me some ideas. If you made it to the end of the video, you can comment trooper and give me ideas of what you think would be a good giveaway for people who make it to the end of the video and comment. Let me know. That wraps up this week, week 2 of the Novel 90 writing challenge over on AutoCrit. Or if you're doing the rough draft challenge over on the Heart Breathings channel, also week 2 of that challenge. I guess I'm doing both at the same time, but it's the same goal. So whatever. I'm just using all of the tools at my disposal at the moment. So I guess we will see how next week goes. Bye.